Guys, it's AHS here. Today's video is like a boxing match. Down goes Frazier.
Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.
Down goes Zaddy and Pookie. Oh, it's 304. They tried to bring Pookie drugs into the jail, and it's over for Zaddy. And Zaddy was Pookie, the defense attorney. Zaddy threw it all the way for Pookie. Zaddy, Pookie, are you guys on the DL? Let's hit the clip and we'll come back and chop it up AHS style.
Or a judge less than an hour ago.
Yeah, he's the latest attorney to be accused of smuggling drugs to a client in the Harris County Jail. Anieli Ruiz live outside the jail tonight. Anieli, the latest arrest here in a crackdown on drugs and contraband flowing into the jail.
Well, that's right. 2 of the 3 people charged were just in court moments ago. We were able to learn more details about what exactly happened. Now, according to court documents, they passed these drugs into the jail in February and April of this year. Now, take a look. This is the attorney who was just arrested, 39-year-old Hunter Hayes Simmons. The second person arrested was 40-year-old Tanisha Butler. They're both being charged with engaging in organized criminal activity and a prohibited substance in a correctional facility. He's the 3rd attorney to be arrested since the sheriff started cracking down on drugs and contraband in the jail last year. And according to the sheriff's tweet earlier today, he said this was part of the security division and human traffic team and warrants division. Now, in court, the judge said they have documents of over 10 pages long, and it details a phone call on how this all occurred. Take a listen.
Into the jail by means of having legal documents or some type of documents go into the jail that were laced or dipped in some type of controlled substance, and that occurred, and prevention officer deputies were able to recover those items.
Now, their bond tonight is set at $75,000 each. We're told that substance, according to right now what we heard in court, it was some kind of synthetic cannabis. Now, I have reached out to Simmons' office for comment, but have not heard back. And by the way, the 3rd person being charged in this case is a 22-year-old Joshua Joven Piper. He's set to appear in court later on tonight. Of course, we're hoping to get that information from his court appearance as well. Reporting live, Anieli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Okay, let's chop it up. Throwing it all away for Pookie. Dude has 0 talent. You don't throw away your law license? They say dude has his own practice, and he threw it away for a dude that can't stay out of jail. So you bring him drugs. You don't think he'll get caught? He already got caught before. That's how he ended up in jail. That female, ain't that Pookie hoe? Do you agree with me? Or am I lying? Am I lying on my dick? Am I lying on my BBC? Am I lying on my BBC? That gotta be his hoe. That has to be his hoe. And they say she was over some nonprofit with children nutrition. I guess drugs are part of children nutrition. They had that chick in Seattle. She was doing some organization, and they say she's a big time kingpin. So these folks that own these organizations, don't trust them. Don't trust them. They could be dirty as hell.
In a multi-state fentanyl drug trafficking ring, reportedly led by a Renton family. Throughout the day, King 5 has reported on the indictment of 14 people in total. One of the people named in the charging documents is Marty Jackson. She is a well-known advocate in South Seattle. King 5 has spoken to her at community healing events organized by Southeast Network following crimes in that part of the city. Now, court documents outline her alleged involvement in the drug ring. Federal investigators say that she laundered money for her sons and stepson who were involved in the sale of fentanyl pills. In all, investigators say this group distributed more than 800,000 fentanyl pills throughout the U.S. Some of those pills investigators linked to a fatal fentanyl overdose. on the Lummi Nation in Whatcom County. As King 5 previously reported, back in September 2023, the Lummi Nation declared a state of emergency because of the number of overdoses.
There's not a community I visit that does not talk about the devastation that fentanyl has done to their communities. This poison has harmed their children, their families, their communities, and nowhere is that more felt than our Native communities. The disproportionate effect of fentanyl overdose deaths and fentanyl on our Native communities is really horrifying.
Marty Jackson worked with the Southeast Network, which is a program within the Boys and Girls Clubs. Jackson is no longer listed as the executive director on the organization's website. In a statement, the Boys and Girls Club said, once learning about the arrest, they took corrective action and, quote, we will cooperate fully with authorities and have also launched an internal investigation to ensure the ongoing safety of club members and staff.
Let me tell you something, Joshua. How does Joshua fit in the picture? I said earlier, down low. It's Joshua from Atlanta. I solved the case. But Zaddy, you said been the one selling drugs. Obviously, Pookie can't sell drugs. You got caught. The hoe got caught. And down low, brother, Joshua, he got caught. The attorney said been selling the drugs. Or Pookie hoe said been selling the drugs. Pookie has zero talent, or he would not be locked up. If he had talent, he would be on the streets selling drugs. Do you agree with me? But if I was a defense attorney, it's only one cat I throw away my entire career for. This guy in Florida, he's the biggest gangster in Florida. Dude just like killing. Here's the clip, man. I throw it away. The dude told me to sell drugs, bring him drugs into the jail. I'ma do it because I don't want to die. This dude right here is about that life. He's about that life. If he's a gang, y'all better make this motherfucker the leader. But Florida gonna kill his ass now. Florida is going to kill his ass. They talk about he might do life. That motherfucker ain't doing life. They taking his life.
Of killer crimes now off the streets. Evidence from a months-long investigation allowing the Broward Sheriff's Office to close several cases. 7's Alex Browning is live in Fort Lauderdale with the details. Alex.
In Lorena, a notorious group accused of causing havoc across Broward County. Now prosecutors say their reign of terror is over. Police say a violent gang is now off the streets and behind bars. 5 men going before a judge Wednesday facing 33 counts. It closes 8 murders and 12 attempted murders in Broward County. It all began in January after the shooting death of 17-year-old Terrence Farrington at a Plantation Best Buy.
They was behind ring cameras. Terrence came out, Terrence fell and died right there.
4 people shot, including 2 customers. Police now say Sigmund Brown, Kavarius Johnson, and Gerard Charles are responsible for the teen's death.
Terrence was a student full of life and love, and was one of the star players on my 707 football team.
A fingerprint lifted at the scene led the Broward Sheriff's Office gang task force to one of the gang members. 10 months later, 8 arrested, firearms confiscated, along with stolen credit cards and ammunition. The state attorney breaking down each case and the charges against each suspect. Trayvon Key and Kavarius Johnson charged with the shooting death of rapper Wiz the Wizard, or Wisdom Johnson, back in September of 22. Johnson also accused in the shooting death of Antoine DeBard. He was shot at a laundromat in Pembroke Park back in April of 23.
I looked and they started just unloading. They just started firing.
Johnson also is accused of murdering Ronaldo Donner and Terry McKenzie, both shot and killed while driving on 95 in Fort Lauderdale, May of last year.
Second victim has a gunshot wound to the back of the head. 2 level 1 trauma is going to Broward.
We have Sunrise Boulevard completely shut down westbound. They are walking the ramp, looking for evidence on this roadway right now, possibly bullet casings.
Kavaris Johnson and Raha Roll facing yet another murder charge, this one a week after Terrence Harrington was killed, this time.
I've been shot. Come on, my boyfriend.
Johnny Henderson shot and killed while driving in Miramar. And among the group, a teenager, if they are convicted, they face life in prison or the death penalty. We're in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Alex Browning, Today in Florida.
So folks, like the video and give me your opinion under this dumbass attorney, dumbass Pookie girlfriend, and dumbass down low brother Joshua falling for Pookie tricks to bring them drugs into the jail to sell. That they all eventually won't get caught because Pookie has zero talent. And before you go, don't that defense attorney look like he's on that shit right now? He's on that shit. He's on that shit.